Hi, I'm Calvin Elizabeth, a wedding photographer based in San Diego. Today's video is going to be all about why you should do you. That is my absolute favorite motto. I think that anybody should do something that they're wanting to do for their wedding plans as long as it's not actually hurting somebody. But I find that there are a lot of nasty people out in the world who are very judgmental and will say things like, oh, then it's not a real wedding, or that's like something bad to do, that's tacky. Don't listen to that sort of person and don't be that sort of person. Why would you care what somebody else does at their wedding, especially if you're not even invited? So I would say that don't worry about those voices, don't listen to those negative Nancys, and do what you want to do and don't do what you don't want to do. If there is a tradition, which I think tradition purely for the sake of tradition is not necessary. I am not a traditional person whatsoever. I'm innovative. I love change. I love new ideas. I love things that are unique. I don't ever want to do something just because it's what I did in the past. If there's a tradition I have, it's because I really enjoyed whatever it was that was part of the tradition and I just want to do it again. But I don't think that you have to do something every single year or you have to do this thing at this event just because that's what's done. Now, if you have religious things that make you do traditions for the sake of tradition, that's another thing. But I just personally don't like repeating things unless I really enjoyed them or they were really meaningful to me. So I say screw tradition for the sake of tradition. If you are super traditional, that's great. You do you. Again, this might be something that is great for you, but not great for someone else. Now, when it comes to weddings, there are two types of things. There are the things that are typically done, but you don't want to do them, and there are the things that aren't ever done, and you do want to do them. So I say either one. Choose what you want to do, choose what you don't want to do, and if it's something like you don't want to do a cake cutting, or you don't want to have a bridal party, or you don't want to have a ceremony, whatever it is that you don't want to do, you don't have to do it. There is no rule book that says this is what you have to do. And on the flip side, if there's something you've never heard of, like a spontaneous slip and slide at a wedding, but you want to do it, do it. And I think that the more unique and the more personalized that you can make your wedding by being true to who you are, the better it's going to be for you and for your guest. I'll say that not a whole lot of weddings stand out to me in my history of attending and shooting them. I would say that the ones that have stood out are ones where the couple made an effort to make the wedding truly celebrate them or their history, their culture, or their personality. I once shot a wedding where the bride, because in part of her culture this is something they do, had belly dancers hired to put on a show for the guests, and that was so much fun. And all of the guests were like, oh my God, this is amazing, it's so cool, like, oh wow, our wedding was so boring compared to this. And it was just really fun, and everybody had a great time because it was something that made sense because it was part of the bride's culture, and they just enjoyed it because it was unique. It wasn't something they would see all the time. So I think if you want to include fun things like that into your wedding, then you should absolutely do so. If there are other people paying for your wedding and they do have some requests that you don't mind doing, then by all means, maybe honor that for them, do it on their behalf. But if it's something that would make you extremely uncomfortable and you really don't want to do it, then I would say it's worth having a conversation about why it's not something that you want to do and it would make you uncomfortable to do so, and perhaps there's something else you can do that would be a nice compromise. So don't let yourselves get lost in this process. I see time and time again where parents are too overbearing on the wedding process and suddenly the wedding looks like the parents' wedding and you can't see any bit of the couple in there whatsoever because they didn't speak up or because the parents were just too overbearing or manipulative because they're the ones paying for it. If you are in a situation where there are people starting to be aggressive with your planning because they're paying for it, my suggestion would be to stop letting them pay for it and really scale down your wedding and find a way to pay for it yourself, because it is not worth having this day that's supposed to be all about the two of you, but it's nothing about you whatsoever. Now, I know in some cultures it is more about the family and traditions and the parents, but if you are wanting this to be a celebration that you actually enjoy, that honors you, then don't let people run over you. Don't let the voices saying, oh, that's tacky, that's weird, that's rude, whatever. Do what you want to do as long as it's not actually going to legitimately hurt or upset somebody. So I am all about doing things that are unique and the way that you want to do them, whether they're never been heard of or you want to do something that used to be done and now it's not done. Anything. I just say you do you and have the best wedding of your life. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!